Now I will describe how to appear before a judge and what you may expect. First, respecting the court always means being on time, so make sure you come to court at least 15 minutes early. Be polite and always address the judge as Your Honor when speaking to him or her. Second, don't be afraid to turn to the judge and look at him or her in the eye when you testify. Judges like eye contact and regard it as a sign of an honest witness. Don't worry about being nervous. The judge knows it's natural to be nervous when testifying. Third, the judge will be most concerned with hearing whether you are in fear for your safety, and if so, why. Try to focus on the most recent incident of violence that caused you to seek help. Also, instead of making general statements such as, "We were arguing," be very specific. Examples of specific testimony are, "We argued and he punched me in the face," or, "He raised his fist to me." The more specific you are, the more believable you are. Therefore, be prepared to tell the judge about your injuries and any injuries to your children. Fourth, don't lose your temper and do not argue with the judge or anyone else. Fifth, always be truthful. Even if you're asked about something that you're not proud of, answer the question truthfully and ask for the opportunity to clarify or explain why you did what you did. If you do not have an attorney at the 10-day hearing, then you will provide the judge with the necessary facts surrounding the abuse. You must prove to the judge that the defendant abused you, threatened to abuse you, put you in fear of being abused, or has been stalking or harassing you. Additionally, if in your complaint you requested additional protection like custody of your children, or protection for other members of your household, you must convince the judge that such additional orders of protection are necessary. Therefore, you will need to contact any witnesses who saw the abuse or your injuries. Notify them as soon as possible about your court date and ask them to come. Please be aware that written statements, notarized or otherwise, are not accepted in court in place of a witness's in-person testimony. Practice telling your story before you come to court. You may find it helpful to make notes about what happened, such as time, dates, places, and who was there. If you received injuries, make sure to tell or show the judge. Take pictures if possible to show in court. Speak loudly and clearly. If an attorney says objection while you're speaking, wait until either the judge or your attorney tells you to answer the questions. You will need to tell your story again at the 10-day hearing. After you tell your side, the defendant will be allowed to ask you questions. Then the defendant will tell their side and you can ask questions. The judge will make a decision about whether to grant a protective order for a year. A protective order is not a guarantee of your safety. You need to develop a safety plan to keep you and your family safe. Please discuss any concerns for your safety with SOS staff or contact the Family Services Incorporated Domestic Violence 24-Hour Crisis Line at 336-723-8125. If the person against whom you have a protective order continues to contact you, you should call the police or sheriff to report this as a violation. A safety plan is a combination of ideas to protect you and your family in the event that you are threatened or abused. Some ideas that are good to remember are: have an emergency escape route planned. In the event that you have to leave your home quickly, have a safe place already in mind. Keep money, extra keys, important documents, or copies of them, and some clothes hidden in case you have to leave quickly. Teach your children how to dial 911 and develop a code word for use with your children and friends so that they know when to call for help. Please discuss any concerns for your safety with SOS staff or contact the Family Services Incorporated Domestic Violence 24-Hour Crisis Line at 336-723-8125. On your court date for the 50B, there will be a brief information session by a Family Services Victim Advocate prior to the beginning of court, approximately 9 a.m. It will be held in courtroom 3C on the 3rd floor of the Forsyth County Hall of Justice. This session will provide you with more information about the court process and additional resources. While you are here, you can ask to speak to a victim advocate who can help you with counseling and shelter needs. You may also ask to be referred to the Department of Social Services for help with emergency food stamps, child support enforcement, child assistance, or Medicaid. If you know that there's also a criminal case open, please ask to speak to someone with the District Attorney's Domestic Violence Unit. If you want to change or dismiss your order, you must come back to Safe on 7 to file a motion. You will then be given a 10-day hearing. The Family Services Domestic Violence Crisis Line is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, at phone number 723-8125. If you are in need of advocacy counseling or safe shelter, please let us know, or you may call Family Services Incorporated at 723-8125. You and your family deserve to be safe. You may feel overwhelmed by the amount of information you will receive here or are asked to provide. It is not our intention to pry into your personal life or overwhelm you. We want to make sure you know all of your rights and are offered all of the services you may need in order to feel safe. Please let us know how we can help you do this. If you have any questions, please ask.